So in the core domain also, there is huge potential for IT. So we thought that even if you want to excel in your core domain, even if you want to do anything, exciting in this digital era, we thought that we should learn coding, and that's how we discovered Sharpener, and we ended up in Sharpener.
Like we are saying right from the beginning, like we knew the power of coding and how it can change our lives and everything. But after talking to Yes Sir, that was the validation for us. That was the confirmation for us. Yes, this is true, and we need to make a move right now. And we did no delay.
So, guys, today we have we have not a single guest today, but we have multiple guests joining us today. So, presenting to you guys three college friends, Vinay, Zubair, and Saurabh. So these guys have been basically they were in the same college together, and all of them after finishing college, they actually got into the same company as well, and they were all like very unsatisfied with their jobs, and they decided to quit also at the same time. Okay, and they started their Sharpener journey together, and also completed front end development together. Okay, and what's astonishing is that all of them used to get rejected together as well during the interview time. And when the time came, they started cracking interviews together as well. Okay. In fact, they all cracked the same number of companies as well. Okay. So that's the kind of rhythm these guys had. Okay. So everything was together. Okay. And I won't be shocked if they are wearing the same underwear also together today. Guys, so they all got into Bangalore-based companies. Yeah, and the story of these three fans is very unique and very special to Sharpener, I think so. So basically, we'll be discussing about this, their ups and downs and everything. Roughly 30 to 40 minutes the session would be for, and then after that we'll be opening up the session for live Q&As. So people who have questions, just wait. I think most of them would be answered during the session. And yeah, once the session gets over, we'll also take each and everyone's question. Okay, so you guys can raise your hands in the meantime. Yeah. So guys, welcome to the alumni show. Hello, Zubair, Saurabh, and Vinay.
Hello guys. Hello.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Okay. So, guys, let's start off from the very beginning. I think so. We would want to understand a little bit about yourself. So maybe one by one we can go. Zubair, Saurabh, and Vinay. A little bit about you guys. If you can give a small intro.
Yeah, sure. So myself, Zubair Yazama. So I completed my engineering in 2021. I'm from mechanical background. So basically, after completion, I got into a company with Saurabh and Vinay. So we are friends from me and Saurabh specifically are from school friends. Me and Vinay are from college friends. So basically, we completed. In fact, we were in same class and the same batch. So we completed our mechanical engineering in 2021. So after that, we got a placement into core domain. So after that, working for a little while, we felt that so it is important for us to learn coding as well, because in the company that we were working, even though we were in core domain, so the people who are making decisions, right? So in the core domain were from IT background. So in the core domain also, there is huge potential for IT. So we thought that even if you want to excel in your core domain, even if you want to do anything, exciting in this digital era, we thought that we should learn coding, and that's how we discovered Sharpener, and we ended up in Sharpener. So we finished up the course, and we are in a good place now. So that is about myself.
Awesome. So, when did you guys basically I'm guessing you guys met in college? Okay, Vinay, yeah, go ahead, Vinay.
Yeah, thank you, Zubair. You left a lot of things to talk. We have given a lot of topics for us to talk now. Covered most of the things, but yes, I have to mention, I am from Dharwad, and Zubair and Saurabh are from Hubli. The type of bonding that we had really helped me personally to learn a lot of concepts together, and that is one point I would like to add. And soon we'll be discussing in detail how there were ups and downs and everything. And yes, you can take over the question.
Sure. I think Zubair only covered everything.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So guys, just a little bit about your college life. As in, what was college like in general? Where did you guys meet in college? Like, how did you guys meet? And like, if you can give an audience a big heads up. Yeah.
Yeah, Saurabh can take this.
Saurabh,
Sure,
please.
sure.
You-
Saurabh is the matchmaker. Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Saurabh Kulkarni. So I and Zubair are friends from school days. So we basically planned education together. Like we planned like joining the same PU college, but didn't happen. Then we joined mechanical together. Then from there we met Vinay. So in our first year. So then the amazing journey started. And during our second year, third year, and fourth year, we all have worked on the same projects as well. So the bonding that we have is very special. Like we know the other minds. Like we can read each other's mind very well. So what's going in their mind, what's in us. So that's the vibe we share. Yeah. So like that's how we have met at in a college.
Yeah, so basically we were in the same project. Initially, yes, yeah, V and Z. So they fall under the last
Last division.
letter. So they used to allot the according to the USN. We were in the last like 200 USN. So
Alphabetically.
when they used to allot the when they used to allot the project, so it so happened that we were in the same project in the college as well. So that's how
who
we
used to do the
got
work?
to
As
know
in,
each other.
like I'm guessing like not all the three would be doing the project, right? So who used to do the project, and so who was the one among the three of you?
So, we also had another teammate. He also likes to mingle with us. So we shared almost every project. In one project, Zubair used to lead, and in one project, Vinay. So we had shared that thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's say there are
People
four projects that we are doing across 1 year. So everyone used to get one chance to lead another. So they used to at least we used to at least give one person to make a decision for the team, and it turned out to be like just for the namesake we are making Zubair as a team lead now. But at the end of the day, we'll be discussing everything and then taking the call. That's how it is. But I would like to mention one thing. In engineering first year, we had this engineering exploration course wherein we had to build a small prototype of solving a problem. That is when the actual bonding started, because in the class you will be listening to the lectures and everything. That won't be the case wherein you will be talking much. But yes,
Hello.
in the engineering exploration course, that was very interesting. We used to do empathy mapping and do charts, Gantt chart, and everything. So that is one thing. That is where the actual bonding started. And
makes sense.
yes,
People in comments are asking, शादी भी साथ में करोगे क्या? Even I had a question.
But the girl should not be the same. शादी साथ में करो, but एक
Yeah,
लड़की
yeah.
सेम लड़की से शादी मत करना.
होना चाहिए सर.
So guys, so guys, like a pretty interesting question, which like every time I think so whenever we are like taking a session, like people do ask this, like when did you guys start coding in general? Like when was the first time, and then when did you actually start coding seriously?
Oh.
Yeah, first time I guess no, we had a compulsory subject in first year C+. No, C language was the first course, but so we had a rigid mindset towards coding. So because we were from mechanical, and as every mechanical guy or every non-IT guy, he would have a skeptical mindset towards coding initially, at least, because he wanted to get through his 4 years journey without coding. So we just for the sake of getting marks, we learned C. So we managed to get somehow good scores in C as well, but we didn't had that plan to enter into coding as such. So our 4 years of engineering was pretty much no coding at all. So we started seriously coding after joining Sharpener only. So, but we had a pretty basic idea what power coding has, because since we were in mechanical, but there is also interesting subject called as mechatronics, where you would program the bots, program, so Arduino. So basically DIY projects that we used to do. So it required a lot of coding as well, but internet helps you a lot in that case. But we seriously started coding when we joined Sharpener. Before that, we were.
There was a pretty rigid mindset towards coding. I do believe that initially, but when we saw, but we also knew the power of how this coding can influence people's lives and how it can bring money. To be honest, so that is when we made a switch. That is when we decided, like, when everything that we say about coding is good, but then why not we are not trying it, right? So let's do that, and then we check. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Adding to that, I started coding in my pre-universities, PU 11, PU first year and second year.
Yeah, he is from CS.
CS. Basically, I started my CS background and then jumped into mechanical, then back to CS.
Okay. So yeah, like
me and Zubair have taken biology as a side course
Optional
alongside
subject.
Yes.
okay, getting you. Makes sense. So
So how did you guys decide that you will give your control to Sharpener to teach you coding? Like one of you guys might have research or done something, right? So how was that?
It's a pretty interesting story.
So basically, when we started researching about, so basically when we thought that we would leave our organization and we would go into IT. So firstly, we started that we'll start learning coding from YouTube, right? So we went to YouTube, we started searching the courses, tutorials and all those things. So there was like huge amount of courses. So that was really overwhelming. So there is a lot of knowledge on YouTube, but it is not very structured, right? So like a course that you guys provide. So we thought that we would enroll in a good structured course. So we started researching. Saurabh did his research, Vinay did his research, and I did my research. So basically, we went, we surfed the internet, and we found out that there is something called as pay after placement. So we thought that it is a win-win situation, right? So we are, anyway, we are taking a risk of switching. So we don't want to take another risk by paying huge amount of money and then enrolling. So we thought that so it is less riskier to go into such type of programs like pay after placement, where risk is less and reward is more, right? So once you get the placement, you will have to pay. So that is like win-win situation. So we started just surfing on the internet, and we went to Quora. So there were a lot of good feedback about the Sharpener. So the feedback was really good. So initially we got a bit skeptical, right? So there is a huge amount of positive feedback. So what we did was like Saurabh, me, Vinay. So there was no anonymous comments. So there were proper legit names. The people posting the reviews. So we just contacted the people from LinkedIn. Through LinkedIn, we contacted the people, searched their name, and contacted them. So and we talked with them. Saurabh talked with many people, and they truly said that it's a really good platform for you to start. So if you are from non-IT background, the course covers from basic to really advanced projects that you can actually implement in your career. So that is how we contacted people. We also got to talk to Yes Sir, so via call. So he explained us how the transition can be smoother from non-IT to IT. So this is how we discovered Sharpener, and we were convinced that Sharpener is the can elevate our career.
Nice. Even by the way, even right now,
yeah,
I'm expecting you guys to give feedback.
I'm hoping you guys have also given the feedback.
I remember seeing Zubair.
Yeah, we have.
I remember
We have.
seeing
I think, like we are saying right from the beginning, like we knew the power of coding and how it can change our lives and everything. But after talking to Yes Sir, that was the validation for us. That was the confirmation for us. Yes, this is true, and we need to make a move right now. And we did no delay. As soon as we got the confirmation from Yes Sir and talking to various other people, we just took a jump there right away, and we started the journey. Initially, I do agree it was a bit difficult, a bit we had to change our mindsets because in mechanical, I used to always say this to Zubair, like in core mechanical fields, we used to do most of the, like 80% of our work only with the mouse. There was no typing, there was no nothing, only shortcuts were there. So I used to, I still do to tell to Zubair that we are now moving from mouse to keyboard. That transition should happen, and it's a very important transition. And yeah, that is one thing that I would like to add.
So, guys, like basically, so that there was this one phase where you discovered, okay, like this is the course which you want to do. Okay, this is we want to we want to join Sharpener. Okay, but like there was definitely one phase in your life where like wherein you were like transitioning from that company, right? You left the company. So, like, how did you guys make that decision? Because that's, I think, it was a big decision. Like, how did that go about? Like, between all the three of you quitting your jobs together. So that was like how did that happen?
So yeah, like we would like to say that we were so determined that we needed to make a transition, and we had made up our mind to like switch to the IT. So we were pretty serious at that time. So we also explored the various like ways how to achieve this. So like we also tried learning alongside our job, but we were exhausted at times and could not focus on the concepts. So that's when we decided like, okay, now it's time to leave and then be serious on this thing. Anyway, we were pretty confident that you'd land us a job and you would land us somewhere. So why not give our best? So when we are giving your best, so that's when we shifted.
Okay, that's interesting. So now, okay, now let's
No,
come
I would
to
like
like
to add.
the
I would
journey.
like to
Okay,
add one more point
yeah,
to
yeah,
that.
yeah, let's go.
So I know only where Saurabh that are close to me, right? So if we win, we win together. If we lose together. That's the initial mindset that we had. If we don't get the coding, then we don't get the coding. That's it, and we'll continue whatever that was there on our plate, or else we will achieve it with greater heights. So that is one good mindset that we had in the beginning with all the mindset shift that we had to do. This was also one of the things that I can mention.
Yeah, in the beginning they both were not like convinced, but
Yeah,
forcefully
I was.
took them out of that company.
So who convinced you? Saurabh was the
Saurabh the
convincing.
guy. Saurabh
Yeah.
the guy. To be honest.
Awesome. So guys, so now like you left your company, okay, and now you're doing coding, okay, and I am guessing coding gets frustrating at some times, okay. It like things are not getting solved, and like you're stuck at the same problem for days, okay. So what was that phase like? How did you guys tackle that? The low point, basically. What was
Like
the
for
low point?
example, like you mentioned, when you stuck in a problem, so it becomes no, you will end up in frustration and you would leave your desk and go somewhere else, right? So that is the one thing, the advantage of coding together. So that frustration, will be shared, right? So for example, you are working on a problem, so you are stuck for an hour or two, and somebody, within three of us, somebody will get a solution. So he can discuss, right? We can discuss together. So basically, if we three are coding, Saurabh will get a solution or Vinay will get a solution. So my frustration will be lessened, right? So that is the advantage of coding together. And the good thing is, so that also helped us in interviews is, so basically, let's say, it's a rare case, but three of us also get the answer. Right now, you have three answers for the same question, right? Three alternate answers for the same question. So it so happens that in an interview, you will be giving an interview. He would, give you a coding task or something, and once you do it, he will tell you to do it in an alternate way. So that's the advantage of coding in a group or in a peer environment,
Yes.
where you will get to learn the alternate solutions as well, and that frustration will be shared. So whatever the difficulty that arises, so basically you can held other person's hand, and you can get out of that situation really well.
Yeah.
That's
Initially,
the
adding to Zubair, initially, like we in development and until web development, I guess, we did only we used to find some answer, like when we get the solution, we used to find only one more answer, like two answer for a question or something like that. But when we were halfway through the web development course, then that's when the entire game we changed. We decided among ourselves, saying that everyone will do a different approach, no matter what. I still remember I was arguing with Zubair, like I am using Redux. Redux is something that is very helpful in maintaining the state. Why are you using the local state and everything, passing through props and everything? So that's the approach that we had. Like everyone used to have at least one approach, so that we can discuss those things at the end of the day. We used to discuss after completing a day. And to add, initially we did work from, I mean, we used to connect on a Google Meet and then discuss the things and start doing on our own. But then we came to college, we sat together. That is when the entire journey was very fruitful.
Makes sense. I think so. Like a big takeaway for all of you guys, like I think so, would be like to like work in teams. Okay, like that is I
Yes.
think a very good takeaway, because in general, like whenever you're doing any problem, right, there would be like multiple solutions. Okay, and
Yes.
there would be times like you should fight with your friend, ki, like why are you using this and
Yeah.
why like this my approach is better. Okay,
Yes.
so I think those discussions is what made you guys like really good, as in terms of
Yes. Yes.
because you guys explored like even the bad routes and even the good routes, yeah.
Yes.
And then finally came to a conclusion that this is better. So I
And-
think big takeaway, yeah.
And
Like,
not just that, not just that we used to only discuss. When we used to get any good answers, or else like when it was like situation wherein we all used to be very happy, we used to celebrate also. Like today is the biryani day. We need to have biryani. Let us go for it.
nice,
That is
nice.
when-
That's awesome. I think so. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I think so. Like all of you should like make friends, or else get your best friend only, but to Sharpener and go together. I think so.
Yeah.
A big takeaway.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, definitely. I think that also helps. Like whenever you're frustrated, like working together, like definitely takes you a long way, right? Like you can like talk to each other and take off your frustration. That's like really good. Yeah. So guys, like a pretty hot question. I think so. Like every time when we meet, like this is a question which everyone asks. Like how much time did it take for you to finish the course, guys? Like how much time did it take you guys?
I'm
Like
bad
we
with
started in the March month, so midway March, along with a job. Then we were like continuing our course along with our job side, and till April we were somewhere in the DSA mid part. So trees like that. So after like in the May month, like we completed our DSA section. Then in the June month, we all sat together and started our web development. And by the end of July, I guess front end was over.
Okay, awesome. So roughly like
3 months.
yeah, roughly 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting you. So yeah, like 3 months effectively, as in like yeah, making sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So that was quite fast. As in like guys, like people who say ki, like if you don't know coding, you cannot finish it fast. Like here are some examples. But yeah, guys, work in groups, and like pretty important takeaway also over here is ki, like one problem which we see in students is ki one guy comes up with the solution, other people start, other person copies it. Okay, so that should not be the case. Okay, come up with your own solution, and if you're not able to come up with the solution, discuss the solution which other person has come up with. Okay, don't just copy paste it. That's a total no. Okay, like because in the end, like the companies are going to hire you based on your skills. Okay, he's not going to hire ki, okay, like one of your friend got in, so like they'll hire you as well. Ki, okay,
And healthy argument is very important. Like we need to take things positively. That's when you learn, you explore things, and you understand why it is better than this. So that's when you make a good understanding or analysis out of it.
Makes sense. So, guys, coming to like the planning, okay, like how did you guys plan your day together? Like, how did you guys used to like work, like as in, yeah, like what? How do you guys used to plan the entire day? Like, what was your routine like?
Like actually, when we were working, right? So we didn't get enough time. So we used to, after coming to home from, like, we used to come home at like 7, 8. So from 9 to 10 or 9 to 11, it's like 2 to 3 hours. So we could put in initially. So we used to connect via Google Meet and share our screens, and we used to discuss what we will be doing, what all tasks we will be completing. So that went for some 1 month. So when we left our company, so we used to put in the company hour. So that is like 9 to 6 we used to put in. So we used to pretend that we are still working in a company. So that really mindset really helped us. So we were accompanied to that timing. So we were used to that timing. So 9 to 6 we used to put. So that really helped. So if you have free time, then I would suggest that utilize that time. So no matter what, and if you have less time, then you can utilize that time as well effectively, and you can do it. So it's like the number of hours you put in. So basically you have to keep it a balance. You need not code like 10 hours, 12 hours, but so the amount of tasks you complete and the concentration that you put in and the concepts that you grab, so it's really important. So that's it. So that are some challenges that we faced. Like in beginning, it would be like you will not get, so how much time you should put in. So but as the time goes by, you will get a feel that so this time I can put in, and so this amount of concepts that I can grab in this time. So it's like the initial phase would be a bit frustrating, but as you go along, it would become easy.
Makes sense.
So
Yeah.
how were you guys managing your frustration? Like, so because initially whenever you start something new, you are always into that mindset that, okay, I'm not understanding things, whether this thing is for me or not, right? And like a lot of people get frustrated, right? That moment people get frustrated. So how were you managing that?
You
Yeah,
are there, right, sir? That's true. There are
yeah. Sometimes like the task would be of 1 hour or 2 hours, like, so timing should be set for that. So like what we used to do, like we used to set times for ourselves as well. Like in 40 minutes we would code ourselves, we would try to find solution by ourselves, and then if we do not find solution by then, like we would discuss. So if then after discussion also, if we did not get the solution, then we would go for a chai break or something, then we would come back, sit, relax a bit, then we would find another way.
Nice.
Yes, and also doubt sessions and all that have really helped us. We used to attend few doubt sessions wherein randomly just attend it, not specifically for my thing, because I have seen a lot of uh, messages posted by you, yes sir. Basically, today we are having a discussion about this thing. Please join. You'll be saying it. So we have joined those sessions, and we just sitting quiet and listening everything, because it's not just the answer that you are saying, it's also the questions that other people are asking that you need to be cautious about, because those questions you can try to answer by yourself and see if yes sir, answer is matching with your answers or not. So
Yeah.
that is one thing. Yes, we used to like do all those tasks, and then
Nice. Yeah,
And
that's all.
what used to happen, like when, let's say, all three of you guys were not able to find solutions, there were a lot of questions where, let's say all three of you guys, after trying your like very hard, you were not able to find solutions. Then what is the approach that you guys used to follow?
basically one best thing is there are hints given in the Sharpener website itself. So they are really descriptive, helps you find the solution. So they are not like direct answers that are served to you, but the approach that is served to you via hint. So it's really good. And basically we used to surf the internet for the problem, or else we would discuss among ourselves more, or we would just surf the internet, or we would post a question in the group, or maybe if somebody has posted the similar question in the discussion forum or the Discord group, we would just go through them. So basically, if you are looking hard, you will definitely find it. So just that you need to understand it. You can go to the code line by line, or you would just go to YouTube and you try to understand a similar question if you do not find this exact same answer to the exact same question. So basically, you can look for a similar question, and you can understand the approach and then try to replicate it. Then definitely, you would get the solution right.
Makes sense. I think.
yes. And more than focusing, like let's say there is a task that we have, for some certain hours, certain time. Obviously, we used to take that seriously, because once if Sharpener has thought about that task and given such a time, means it should be completed in such a time. So otherwise you wouldn't have given, like, you can't give random numbers to any task, right? So the maximum time that can take, let's say it's 2 hours or something. Obviously we used to try it for 1.5 hours very seriously, but then even if it is going beyond that, and the progress is like 10% 20%, after that we used to not care about the timing. We used to just focus on the process, and then try to figure out where it is coming from, how difficult is the problem, are there any solutions available for such kind of a problem. So yeah, this is the approach that we followed around the DSA. Very specifically, I can say DSA was something very new also, and also it requires a lot of sudden logical shift that we need to make while coding, right?
Correct.
Makes
Correct.
sense.
Because even if you are like, say, after 2 hours, if you are like surfing the internet, you're getting an answer. But it's very important to understand things, right?
Yes.
Like, even because let's say copy paste to sabhi kar lenge, like everyone can copy paste, right? But the reason I've given that question is not for
Correct.
marks. You're not gaining marks out of it, but it's like understanding the logic, the concept. Because the next set of questions will also be followed by the similar logic, right? If you're
Yes.
not able to solve this, you're not able to solve the next one. So it's
Exactly.
very, very important understand things. So
Yes, we used to understand
awesome.
every tasks, and also try to solve one more question related to it, so that at least we can get a good idea about what is going on and everything.
Makes sense. I think so. Yeah, that kind of really helps. I think so. So guys, I think so. People would be interested in the next question. I think so. That like, what was the interview phase like, guys? Like, when did it start? How did it go about? How many interviews were you getting? What was the interview phase like, guys?
Like our interviews, like literally completed in a week of time, right? So in a week of time, there were like 2 to 3 calls daily. So in a week of time, we were done. We were placed. All three of us were placed. So, but the initial interviews were a bit, tough. So we were a bit nervous and things like that. So, but as we went through the interviews, so as we started giving 2 to 3 interviews daily, it becomes easy, right? You will get the feel of the interviewer and the types of the question that gets repeated. Right? So there were many questions that get repeated, and I would like to share the front end interview question. If you are specifically looking into front end, I would say it would be like 80 to 85% that would be repeated, and the JavaScript, advanced JavaScript logic. So definitely it would be, the interviewer will ask the similar questions. Maybe he will tweak here and there, but the idea behind the question would be same. So I would say prepare them thoroughly. So if you can prepare them thoroughly, so the interview, you can crack any interview easily, and the questions will get repeated. You can recognize the pattern. So don't get disheartened by 1 or 2 interviews. So because initially the 1 or 2 interviews, you will be prepared, but you would be not prepared for the atmosphere of that interview if you have not given many interviews of the IT interviews before. So basically you would get the idea, you would recognize the pattern, and you will crack. So just that you need to prepare thoroughly. So I would suggest you to go through that website, the advanced JavaScript, if you are looking into front end, because I am from front end, that's why. And the React interview questions. So if you can manage to answer them in your sleep, so definitely you can crack any front end interview or any interview. I'm guessing background would be also the same.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, the interview questions at the end of the course really helped us. So like most of the questions were asked from them as well. So yeah, and also like we had given 2 mock interviews as well from Sharpener end. So that really helped us. We got to know ourselves where we stand at that point of time. So we prepared accordingly, and then we cracked the interviews. But I was like, for my first interview, the first interview before Bhagwan, so I left it. So like I just focused on what type of questions would be asked and then prepare accordingly. So since that it was my first IT interview, so like yeah, that's how I prepared.
So Vinay, what was your experience? Yeah, like I think everyone would have had a different experience. Yeah.
Yes, first 1 or 2, you just have to leave it. You just have to not think about the end result. So my main focus was like first 1 to 2 interviews. My main focus was like, if there are 4 rounds for this company, let's say X company, I need to complete all 4 rounds. So at least that was the mindset that I was having. So accordingly, I used to prepare those questions and try to give the best answer that I can. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. First company, I guess I cleared only 2, and second also the same happened. But from third, fourth onwards, it started getting really good. I was more confident with my answers, and not worrying about the result, just focusing upon how the concept that we have learned in the same way or in the better way to try to deliver it to the interviewer. So that really helped.
I think that makes sense. So, guys, in general, people obviously want to know. I think everyone's like commenting, what was the package? What was the package? So, yeah, guys, like in general, like the maybe not the company in which you're working right now, but yeah, the other companies which you got through, like what are the packages like in those companies, and which companies were they?
Like all the companies that we had interviewed for was like offering 6+. Everybody like 3 to 4. Like I have interviewed 4 companies, so everybody was offering 6+. So finally I settled for, like, I would give you a range like 7.5 to 8.5. Like,
Makes sense. Yeah. That's fair enough. Yeah. So I think people would. So we'll
Yes.
once we open the Q&A, I think you'll get direct questions from these from the folks, and I think
Yes,
they'll ask you
absolutely.
questions. Yeah. So guys, just 2 more questions, and then I think we'll open the Q&A session.
Yes.
Guys, so this is, I think we ask in every session, what was your favorite moment with Sharpener? As in, like, what any favorite moment that you recall, guys?
I guess my favorite moment would be talking first to before we leaving the company and joining the Sharpener, for like our full-time focus. So we had a call with you, so where you explained us the transition, so how we can do the transition, and you really motivated us to keep our spirits high, and also you gave us the confidence that we can do it. So that was, like, I guess, my favorite moment.
Like
Nice.
for me, I guess when I got the job, to be honest, my favorite job, I can say, that was my favorite moment. That is when I felt like the whole journey was worth it, and if given a chance, I would do it again. And
Nice.
that's one.
Saurabh, what was yours?
Yeah, like same, like when I landed my first offer, and I was excited like to share that information with you guys. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So, okay. So, guys, like now coming to like some advices which you want to give away to the students, like some piece of advices which you want to. Like, so there are a lot of people who have started their journey also. So yeah, like some piece of advice which you want to give them, like how which would help them to grow faster and
Like,
better.
I definitely recommend to do the projects on your own thoroughly. Like, you need to do your projects thoroughly, understanding every aspect of it. So I can definitely say that you may not be asked the project in depth in your interviews, but that definitely help you in the jobs. Like currently, the projects that we have done here, the logic that we have applied to solve some problems are the same logic that we are applying to solve some of the problems in our company as well, right? So having doing your projects thoroughly, each and every project, so makes you really confident. Also, you would some concepts you would not understand theoretically, so you would be going through the courses, you are looking into the explanations, or you are going through the course, the theoretical part, so the props and all those things you would not know. Like the terminologies, the technical jargons will sound alien to you when you are just listening, but when you are implementing those things, so you would understand all things in depth. So that gives you a sort of confidence that you can solve any problem that is thrown at you, right? So I would definitely recommend all the people to do their projects on their own thoroughly. So with utmost effort, so that would really pay off well, in the future.
Awesome, Zubair. So what about you, Vinay? Like, what was your matlab, what is a piece of information which you would like to give to others?
Yes, doing projects and thoroughly, that is one thing that Zubair mentioned. And the main thing that I would like to suggest every or recommend every student is like keep your calm. So calmness, if you have, and if you are analyzing the questions from the beginning, like where it is coming from, and what are the best solutions. And like initially I used to think like if there is a problem given to me, that was the wrong approach that I had. Like I used to think like only 10 lines of code, it will be done. So that was my approach. Like I used to think only until that point. So that is when Saurabh scolded me and said like there are more lines of code that you have to write. It won't be just sorting in just 10 lines of code. That won't happen. So that is when I opened up my mind. Like you need to not think about how many lines of code it will be and how the end result would look like. You just have to focus on the process and try to maintain your calmness and think through the problems step by step. So that will help you a lot in every step, not just the interview or not just the solving the question, but in work also. It will help you a lot.
Makes sense. And in terms of like working as a group, like what was the ground rule which you want to give away to everyone? Like what was the success mantra over there when you were working as a group?
I think the only success mantra is
Punctuality. Timing.
yes, yes, that we have maintained. I have to agree, and also be open, like very much open. If it is wrong, just tell it is wrong. Don't just move around, beat the bush around. Just say however it is, and be honest. Being honest is something that will help you. That has helped us actually.
Makes sense. Sure. Saurabh, what is your takeaway, Saurabh? For everyone?
Yeah. So like I guess the most of the part is covered by them. Then I would just say that like because I'm from a non-IT background, so I had like that mindset in my mind like how would the IT field would welcome us. So being from a non-IT background, but be assured that they welcome you open-heartedly. So they all support you guys. Like if you have skill, they will also help you to upgrade the skill and also help you in each step. And also if you are determined, then you can achieve anything, right? Yeah, so be focused. Do not move your mind from that. You can do anything you want.
Makes sense. So okay, I think so. That's I think that finishes off our session, guys. Now I'll open it up for
And then,
Q&A. So you
and
can
just one more thing.
go ahead.
One more thing.
Yeah.
In the process, while we will be doing the coding and trying to complete the course, a lot of times we will be getting thoughts like, "Am I in the right direction? Am I doing it correctly or not? What if I fail and everything?" So there will be random negative questions that will be happening, right? So if you don't do it now and then just leave it now, then obviously you will fail. Then it's a confirmation from your side only that you have failed. Just my advice is just finish that course, finish that phase, and then see the result.
Trust the
So
process.
obviously, when you finish that process, there will be some outcome, but not the failure. That is for sure the experience that I had, and yeah, that is one thing that I would like to add.
Correct. And also like you definitely have to explore every direction. Okay. The wrong
Yes.
direction also you need to explore.
Yes.
So that like you understand that this is wrong because of this reason. Like you
Yes.
should explore everything. Yeah. So
Correct.
coding, the exploration part is very important, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes
Yes.
sense, guys. So I think let's start taking questions. I think so. So Rohit, you can go first. Rohit Rawat, you can unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, Rohit.
Hi, Rohit.
Hi.
Hi, Rohit. Yeah, go ahead with your question, Rohit.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है सर कि जैसे मैं अभी एक कंपनी में काम कर रहा हूँ
हम्म
वहां पे मैं मतलब जावास्क्रिप्ट पे काम कर रहा हूँ।
हम्म
तो जैसे जो इंटरव्यू होगा अगर मेरा, तो वो बेसिकली डीएसए पे और मॉन स्टैक पे होता है ना, या फिर जैसे फ्रंट एंड पे जाऊंगा तो रिएक्ट पे होगा, बैक एंड के लिए जाऊंगा तो नोड पे होता है।
करेक्ट, ओके, हाँ 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 हाँ।
तो सर कई जगह पे ऐसे सिस्टम डिजाइन और ये पत्नी और भी चीजें होती है, जैसे
नहीं,
ये
मतलब
ज्यादा।
हाँ, मतलब फ्रेशर लेवल तो कम एक्सपीरियंस लेवल नहीं पूछे इतना सिस्टम डिजाइन, रफली 2 to 3 years एक्सपीरियंस में पूछेंगे, बट
But
जैसे
that also very less. Like even if they
हाँ
are asking you to do, like when you are like applying for a SD2 role, system design will be a very small portion of that, right? Mostly SD3 is what you can expect. System design is something which you'll be asked a lot, right?
करेक्ट करेक्ट करेक्ट, ओके, ये तो हम लोग ने आंसर कर लिया। ओके, राजू, यू कैन गो नेक्स्ट, या
Hello, hi Vinay, hi Zubair, hi Saurabh.
Hello.
I'm
Hello.
Rakshita from Gadag.
Oh, hi.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
close
so,
by.
yeah. Right now, I'm in e-commerce website task in front-end project. So there we have to do the projects by our own self, right? So I'm getting thoda problem. Like, did you face the same? Like starting of the project, I'm getting like demotivated a bit. Like, I can do the task or not. So how do you tell me that?
Like for example, initially you need to plan your project, but the
Okay.
project doesn't go as per your plan. So that is when you get demotivated, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I would suggest you to write the solution so randomly. So whatever. So basically, don't try to be in a mindset that you need to get right in the first approach, right? So basically, for example, so when you are building a website like e-commerce, you need to split your projects into multiple components, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
you have to split it so you can reuse it, right? But that mentality doesn't click you when you are starting the project. So I would
Yes.
suggest you to do however you can. So just to reach that, at least to get the styling right, or at least to get the functionality right. Maybe it is not 100% right, but just does the thing, right? So basically you need to add the items in your cart. So there could be a best solution, right? So more performance solution, but the solution that you find or you discover by yourself, you can add that, and you get the functionality right first, and then when you proceed with the project, you only will realize that that was not the best solution, and you can go back and change your solution to the best solution. So my
Yes.
advice would be just go through the process. So don't be in the mindset to get that, get it in the first, attempt only, right? So
Yes.
that makes you demotivated, I guess. So you are setting higher expectations from your side that you would do the optimized solution in the first go only. So that would
Yeah.
not happen, right? So,
Yes.
go with the flow, do the things, right? So try to make it, as functional as possible, but just you need to trial and error method. So
And
if you can go.
and one more thing that you can try is like divide your entire project into smaller pieces. Like
Yeah.
may it be the home page or the cart section that you are working on. So only
Yes.
that part you can look into any YouTube or any other resources. And even if you are looking for the YouTube, then don't look for videos which are more than half an hour or 1 hour, because that will simply waste your time, and also the flow will be different, and there will be such videos wherein the whole playlist will be there and you will be seeing only the specific video, and that will not connect when the YouTuber is saying anything related to that component or that section. So try to divide your
Yes.
entire project into smaller segments, and only that functionality you can look, and that video should be, or that resource should be independent of, it shouldn't have the background or something like that. You getting my point?
Thank you so much. Thank you both. Can you please share the questions like all three if you are possible, like in Sharpener web development group, so that it will be easy for us when we go.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yes,
Sure,
yes,
definitely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
one thing, guys, we'll go one by one. Vidit, you can go next. Guys, raise your hands. Okay, people who want to ask questions, raise your hands. Okay.
My question to this.
We'll answer each and every one. Yeah, Vidit, go. You're a little inaudible. Vidit, can you be a little louder?
Hello.
Yeah, Vidit. Yeah.
Oh, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. My question to this trial is, how did you guys make a choice between front end and back end? Was it a group decision also?
Peer pressure, I think so. Huh?
Like it's your
No,
call. So personally, so basically for me at least, since I'm from mechanical background, so the things that I see are like the things that I understand are more visual to me. So for example, the may it be the CAD softwares where you design. So whatever you do, you can see. So that learning helped me a lot. So that was my personal call. I felt that so it would be easy for me to learn that. So that is why I chose front end. So but when I'm here in when I'm working in my company here and I meet lot of people. So they have their own mindset. But I can say you that there is there are no short, there are no less opportunities. There are more opportunities in both the equal opportunities in the both the field. So it's your personal call. So opportunity wise, so if you are talking about opportunity wise, so like there are equal opportunities. Go either way. It's just a personal call.
Makes sense. And so I think Zubair chose it. Then Saurabh went on. Saurabh and Vinay. Like, what did you guys do?
Yeah, like actually we decided that we would take 3 days time to decide whether on choosing back end or front end and come up with the better points why to choose the front end and why to choose back end. So yeah, that's how we decided. We sat together, discussed amongst ourselves, and also we contacted some of our seniors as well who are working in the field to know their perspective as well. So that's when we decided we would go to the front end, so that we would like start with the front end and then move to the back end. And so yeah, so that's how we decided to move to the front end.
बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा
Khush, I think so. Mute yourself, Khush. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that that was very wise. I think wisely decided. I think so. So Anas, you can go next. Anas, you can go with the question.
Hello. Good afternoon, all of you. I want to ask that how many DSA questions you have been asked in interview?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like DSA is the main part that in every interview that Sharpener takes from the like successful people. Like DSA question is the common question. How much DSA question was asked in your interview? So yeah, like I would like to say from my interview perspective, like the two only in like I interviewed for 5 companies. Among 5 companies, for only 3 companies, DSA questions were asked. That too on the basic level, like for loops and if conditional questions. So if you are thorough on the conditional part, then you can easily crack the DSA part. If you are joining as a fresher or a experience with one, so yeah, like that's the DSA part that was asked, not the very tricky ones, the graphs like the trees. It was very basic.
Yeah. Also, I would like to add that DSA will be asked definitely because they want to shortlist you. So, but the complexity of the questions depends upon the company. So some organizations will ask you a basic questions like Saurabh said, just on the looping thing, or just ask you to reverse a string or an array. But some companies definitely will ask you some complex questions as well. So to be on the safer side, I would suggest you to prepare both the fundamentals as well as some of the trickier questions as well. So you can crack better companies and you would be motivated throughout the process.
Yeah, that is true. One thing I would like to mention is like there are in my interview, like there was one question to find a duplicate duplicate elements in an array. So I had used that JavaScript inbuilt methods right after when he said that find duplicate elements in an array, I said, come on, man, this is what I wanted. So I just started writing these things, the inbuilt functions by using filter and everything. But then he stopped me in the middle and said, do it by other method without using the inbuilt functions. So that was one experience. So such kind of things will happen, wherein they will ask you to build the logic, and they would like to see how you approach the question and everything.
And also adding to that, like interviewer will always help you throughout the process. Like he will guide you, he will give you hints how to solve that. They are more focused on the logic part rather than getting an answer. So if you get the logic right, and if you are moving in their direction what they expect, then yeah, you can crack easily.
And I would suggest everyone that whatever that you know, only do those things in the interview. Like if you don't know how to use replace all functionalities inbuilt methods, then don't do it. I was like in in one of the questions, I had put in a condition to replace all the hyphens by space. So I didn't know what that slash comma will be there for when we are doing the replacing and all. So that was one situation, but I somehow managed that one, and it was good. It went well, actually.
Yeah, and also like you have to keep in mind that the field that you are entering, it has many solutions to single problem. So you have to be thorough on which solution you are like keeping in front, and you have to know it very well. Yeah.
Getting it. Yeah, I think definitely that kind of helps because like when there is multiple answers also, you know, like because I've also faced in the interview, like the interviewer has asked me ki, okay, do this problem, and then he's telling, why don't you go this route? Okay, so that exploration needs to be there, guys. Like keep exploring, because even if you do the wrong answer, even if you do it in the like not so optimized way, that also kind of helps. Okay, because then if you find the optimized way, then that would always like stay in your mind. Okay, this is the unoptimized way, and this is how we can optimize whenever we come across a similar situation. Yeah. So definitely that always helps. Yeah. And DSA guys, like I understand, like a lot of people from front end, they are scared of DSA, but DSA is important, guys. Okay, like right. DSA in general like would help you, because in the end, like after a year or two, you would want to become full stack engineers. Okay, and like in general, whenever you're working in a company, also like you'll get DSA problems to solve. Okay, like as in like I'm guessing like when Zubair and Saurabh and when they're working on the front end projects as well. Okay, there are problems like they'll get DSA problems only to solve. Okay, like in general. Okay, so they'll have to use arrays, they'll have to use sets, they'll have to use a lot of stuff. Okay, to write the code in a neater fashion. So there's no escape to DSA, guys. Okay, so do DSA properly.
Yes.
Okay. Dibakar, you can go next. Yeah, Dibakar. Oh, that Deepak Prasad. Sorry. Deepak,
Yes,
you want to
sir.
go? Yeah.
Yes. Just I want to ask you that, sir, how, for an example, you all were known person, that's why you made a group, but we are unknown to each other. So how we will form the group? And
So, Deepak, like inspired by Zubair, Saurabh, and Vinay, we've kind of formed something called Spirit Guide. Okay.
no, yeah,
So,
means it is useful. Means
yeah.
in this we can easily deal with procrastination. So
Yeah. So basically, your team formation would be happening, and you will automatically like be matched to someone of the similar background as you. Okay, so you guys can interact, talk to each other, motivate each other, and that is going to be your sole team, moreover. So yeah,
no, I did not get a mentor till now.
Spirit Guide you've not gotten yet.
So
No.
you'll be getting it in the fourth assignment, which is like the bit manipulation assignment, right?
Okay.
So you'll be allotted a team, right? There will be one spirit guide, so he'll be in the future assignment, right? Let's say he would be a person who would already have gone through that journey which you are in right now, right? So he'll be helping you out, and you'll be also basically put into a team of the similar set of folks of similar background, let's say you come from a XYZ background, let's say it can be commerce or something, or let's say mechanical.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
So you'll be matched with the same set of folks who are from the similar background, and the mentor will also be of the similar background. So, the data structure mentor is already given to you. So this will be a spirit guide, right? Okay, who will be helping you out, who will be keeping you motivated, right? Telling you that because the spirit guide will be seeing the finish line, right? So he can motivate you that okay, if you do the work in the similar fashion, like you will also be like here. You don't have to worry, right? Okay, just that one step at a time, just move ahead.
यस सर, और सौरभ सर और जुबेर सर, मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ फॉर एन एग्जांपल कि आप सिर्फ शार्पनर के क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे कि प्रैक्टिस के लिए डीएसए के लिए क्वेश्चन अच्छे से सॉल्विंग के लिए, कि और भी लीड कोड सब प्रैक्टिस करते थे?
Yeah.
Like most of the Sharpener questions that were given, so were redirected to lead code, some of them, right? So when you get one answer right, you would only want to solve other questions for your own benefit, right? So you
Yes.
would be only motivated to solve the question. So when you are coding in lead code, there will be similar questions. You want to try this, you want to try this to get that recommendation, right? Then only you will try, right? So basically that depends. So basically if you are getting things right and you are knowing the concepts well, so if you want to sharpen your concepts, then you will try. So that
Yes.
depends. So how well you know the concept. Like if you want to know, if you think that you require more problems to solve to know the concept, then I would definitely suggest you to do more questions. But if you are feeling that you are fulfilled with the amount of questions you solve, then I recommend don't necessarily waste your time on solving similar questions. Better move to other concepts and solve more questions on that.
Yeah. And also to mention that like we all three together did not complete DSA. We completed at different time and also in different languages. Zubair had completed DSA in Python. I completed in C++ and then JavaScript, and Vinay had completed it in Java. So like we did not much discuss on the DSA part because since it was the stepping stone of a foundation, like the thinking ability comes from the DSA part. So the solving ability. So that's why like we would discuss only after we get a solution. So yeah, that's how we completed our DSA.
Correct. And so right now, like what I've also done is like I've created a sheet where like you'll be given a lot of practice questions to solve, right? Okay. Because let's say if you go on LinkedIn, let's say lead code and try solving questions, that the chances of you getting to a question which requires a lot of prerequisites, okay, which you actually don't know, okay, is really high, right? Let's say you're given a question which might be of that topic area, but it might require you to know like 3 other topics which you don't know, and because of that you might not be able to solve that question, leading to frustration. Okay. So for that, what I've done, like I've created a sheet which will give you a step-by-step mechanism that okay, solve this question, solve that question, solve that question. Okay. So this is apart from the questions which are already there on the dashboard. Okay. So which you can actually practice and see that whether you are able to solve questions which are external to the platform or not.
Hello.
Okay. I think guys, let's continue with the questions. I think so. Yeah, let's be like over time now. So yeah, Shilkar Kulkarni, yeah, you can go next. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Hi guys. Hello.
Hi.
No. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah. Basically, I am also from a mechanical background. So my question is, how you guys able to remember the syntaxes? I am facing the difficulties in remembering the syntaxes and all the stuff.
Okay, so like the previous question had answered that, like practice, like we practiced a lot. So like when you move forward in courses, like you yourself will code and then the
Hello.
syntax would sit in your mind.
Okay.
So yeah, like practice is the key. And also if you do not get the syntax, like you can Google it out, like you can remember like not all the full syntax but the basic, like the main part.
And another question is, as I'm seeing, so now most of the companies are restricting to CS, IS, or IT backgrounders. And what are the chances of getting the mechanical guys? The number of companies which you got, which has specifically the not the CS those
yes,
restrictions.
like, so in the present company that I am in, I am saying that I'm seeing that most of the freshers are from non-IT background, right?
Okay.
So I definitely think so the criteria are changing. So companies are more respecting skills than your degree. So I definitely think that you should not worry about your background. Just worry about sharpening your skills. and definitely there should be no issue.
And also
Okay.
the team I am currently working has like 4 mechanical students, so
Oh,
mechanical
nice.
background guys. So yeah, the branch does not matter now.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
moreover,
guys.
I'll say like 90%, more than 90% Sharpenerians are non-CSE guys. So yeah,
Yeah,
you'll find us
got it.
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
yeah, I think so.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
There are some
Okay.
memes also. I was seeing the other day, which my team shared with me that yeah, आजकल engineer हो या नहीं हो, हर कोई coder बन जाता है. And that was to send it to me, saying this is a sharpener. This is happening.
Sorry. Okay, Aman, we can go with you, Aman.
Okay, hi everybody.
Hello.
So my first question is that some of my friends told that they were told to make mini projects and they were given a day by the interviewer. So did that happen to you guys, or it is just a service-based companies thing? Can you tell me that?
Actually, personally, I did not get it. But when I interacted with some people, in my company and so LinkedIn as well. So definitely some companies ask you to, definitely they will give you a task and they expect you to complete it by end of the day. And also, so if the company is genuine and if you has done their background check and if you are genuinely interested, then definitely I would like they would be not giving you task like doing much. So the 4 to 5 days of amount of work need to be completed in one day. So the task would be proportional to the time that they have given. So I would suggest you to, anyway, if you, don't get the solution right, or even if you don't, end up in the company, definitely you will learn something.
Makes sense. Also, like what we've seen also, right? Like I think it's a pattern moreover. Okay. Yeah, it's more like right now, like as you know, right, the time is like a lot of companies are not hiring right now. There are hiring freeze, there are layoffs going on. Okay. So that is where I think so this thing has like started happening a little more. Okay, because what was essentially happening, right? Like there was a time when like people were like I used to say people were bidding for software engineers. Okay, like I'll pay you this much, come I'll pay you that much. Okay, so right now the times have changed a little bit, but obviously it will come back to normal in some time. Okay, like the recession
And
thing.
also it is good, right? You can surf the internet, you are free to use the resources. And there is not nervousness as you are sitting on the interview and the interviewer asking you the questions. So there are some positive sides to it as well.
That's right. So yeah, basically that's what we've seen. Okay, like right now, recruiters are like they have the power, right? Not a lot of companies are hiring, so that's something which is happening. But I think with time, everything will get streamlined within like I think so. Like once the US budget comes, okay, I think January end, I think when it would come. So I think everything would be sorted. So no need to worry, guys. As in, like doing a project also helps you like improvise in your concepts only.
Yes. And also like it is just that they are using different method to hire you. It's that simple. Before they used to take offline exams and then shortlist and then do stuff, but they shifted to online interview process, and now they're making just the level up. And if you just adapt to it, then obviously you will crack it.
Correct. That's right.
Okay, and there's just another question. I think I missed you guys already told that how much time did you spend in web devs? Actually, I just started it, so I just want to know how much time did you finish it? I mean, I know everyone's pace is different, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, like we would sit together for 8 hours straight daily. So
Okay. So
we
in how many days did you complete it? Like a
the
month or?
We can say for web development a month
1 month.
or 40 days you can say.
Okay, got it. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sure. Prashad, okay, let's do it quickly, guys. Prashad, Pulipati, we can go next.
Hello, sir. Actually, I'm new to this Sharpener program. I would like to know when the placements actually will happen.
Okay, so you can see it on the dashboard. Now, placement starts. There's one module which shows up. So roughly
Okay.
once you finish one tech stack, yeah.
after completing Node.js,
Or
you can prepare.
or front end or Node.js, any of them. Yeah. After
Okay,
completing
okay.
that, yeah.
Sir,
Like,
can I choose
3 to 4 months? Yeah. Tell me.
if I skip the Node.js part and continue with the front end part? If I want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
become
you can. I think Zubair, Saurabh, and Vinayak,
Yes,
they've
yes.
done the same thing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to
Okay.
skip that. Basically, you can like once you reach that stage, okay, when you're about to start backend, like the mentor will only ask you what you want to go to next, and he'll move you to that accordingly. So there is an
Okay,
option
okay,
which will show up. Yeah,
okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
sure. Okay, Shubham, you can go next. Shubham, okay, I think he's called Ninja. Ninja, you can go next. Okay, Ninja vanished. Okay, Rohit, you can, yeah. Yeah, I saw him coming to you. Rohit, you can go next.
हेलो
Rohit Rawat.
हेलो
Yeah.
सर, मेरा एक और क्वेश्चन था। जैसे जो सैलरी पैकेज होती है वो मतलब कैसे अप्लाई करते हो आप, कैसे डिफाइन करते हो कि ये सैलरी पैकेज सही है मेरे लिए?
Based on your skills, buddy. ठीक है, मतलब the way you have given the mock interviews and all of those things, ठीक है, we decide like what is the expectation that you should have, ठीक है, and even if your expectation is more, ठीक है, मतलब it's good to have more expectation, ठीक है, so what we'll be doing अभी, because उसके लिए और preparation चाहिए होगा, ठीक है, so what we'll tell you that take this job, ठीक है, it can be of that XYZ amount, ठीक है, take that job, ठीक है, and parallelly prepare, because क्या होगा ना कि like whatever a lot of people over here will be from non-technical background, having a lot of your gaps, so that वो चीज minimize होते रहेगा, right? That thing will not affect you when you are looking out for the next job, और फिर parallelly हम लोग सब prepare करते रहो, ठीक है? So when we feel that okay, you have become eligible for the 10, 12, 13 lakh rupees package, ठीक है, we start making you sit for those set of companies, ठीक है, and you will end up cracking those, ठीक है? So that is how we have structured the things, guys, ठीक है? So because see, मतलब जैसे for example विनय, जुबैर, सौरभ के लिए भी अभी end नहीं हुआ है, the Sharpener journey has just started, ठीक है? अभी right now they have a lot of things to get from here, right, from the Sharpener journey itself, ठीक है? So things have just started, ठीक है? अभी इनको सिर्फ एक पहला milestone मिला है, जैसे अगर तुम session attend करोगे तो you will understand that like I have defined different milestones, ठीक है? And it's good to have milestones and then get a reward out of it, right?
Yeah.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
So that is how we have structured the things. ठीक है?
Okay.
So Saurabh,
So,
you want to go next?
और सर मेरा एक और क्वेश्चन था।
Yeah.
हाँ, बोलो रोहित।
तो जैसे जो प्रोजेक्ट होते हैं वो जैसे जो फ्रंट एंड में करता है तो उसके लिए एपीआई चाहिए होती है, तो सर वो एपीआईज कैसे, मतलब कोई और बनाता है एपीआई या पहले से बनी हुई होती है वो, या मॉक एपीआई?
I guess we were using some Firebase, though the project description only will be descriptive, right? So there is a lot of information on what API you should use. Now, like some projects required us to use Firebase for authentication and data storage, and some simple projects where we were using just CRUD for testing purposes. So the project dashboard is pretty descriptive. So there you will get a lot of information about what things needs to be done and APIs that needs to be used. So you can follow that.
Okay, thank you.
Makes sense. Okay. Saurabh, you can go next. Saurabh Mishra.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Saurabh, let's go.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
All of
afternoon,
you.
sir. Yeah, Saurabh.
Sir, nice to meeting you and nice to talking to you, sir.
Same here, guys. Saurabh.
Sir, actually, sir, I am a IT department, but I have many confusions, sir. That means, sir, I did not any face the interview, and I is मतलब सर हमें पता चला बाद में कि सर शार्पनर है, सर हाँ पे आफ्टर प्लेसमेंट है, तो सर कभी कभी रुपए की प्रॉब्लम होती है, तो हाँ ठीक है, बेस्ट ऑप्शन है कि शार्पनर ज्वाइन करो, फिर उसके बाद हम जब पेमेंट होगा फिर उसके बाद हम अपना देंगे। सर कभी इंटरव्यू फेस नहीं किया है, तो सर मतलब उसके लिए कोई टिप्स आप दीजिए, मतलब कैसे क्या उस टाइम करना चाहिए?
अभी बहुत सारे इंटरव्यूज देने हैं, तो इंटरव्यूज लेने हैं, अभी स्टार्ट है।
नहीं सर, बट सर माइंड में क्वेश्चन आता है ना सर, मतलब कभी फेस ना किया हो फिर भी ऐसा होता है ना।
Like
interviews होंगे ना,
I would so many persons that interview I have taken from the Sharpener side. So many people have this
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
go
sir.
ahead. Zubair,
Yeah,
मतलब
sir. So many people.
sorry, yes.
Yeah, Saurabh, I'm coming to you only. Like, for example, the question Saurabh asked. So many people have this confusion. My communication skills are not that great. So,
Yeah.
I get pretty nervous in the interview. What should I do? So people say that often, even though they have good skills, they have good analytical skills and they can solve the problem, no, very good. So, but they, find it difficult to communicate the solution to the interviewer. So the one suggestion that works really well, I have seen is that you try to, explain the code itself, right? You try to, for example, if an interview asks you some theoretical questions, let's say he asks you the type of data, like data types, number of data types you have. So instead, if you are not confident that I can communicate with him, with your words, you can just open your editor and just listing, right? You can just start listing. So you can just create a, square brackets and say this is an array. You can say curly braces, this is an object. So you can just boolean. So best thing is if you can't express through words, express through code if you have that. So that is what I suggest. And it works really fantastic. So,
and as and when you give interviews, right, you will understand what works for you and what does not. Okay, it's like
Yes.
like there are a lot of things, right? Let's say you will also give interviews and you'll also take interviews, right? So we have designed the course in such a manner that there will be continuous interaction, there will be continuous mock interviews. You will also get a chance to become a mock interviewer, right? Because you will understand that what is good, what is going good for you, what is not going good for you, and you can improvise on those things. Okay, and wherever you don't know how to improvise upon, you can always ask a mentor, right? So we will give you tips, okay, through which, like, if you do it daily, you will improvise.
सर जब सर इंटरव्यू होता है तो सपोज सर इंग्लिश में होता है सर, कोई वर्ड सर जैसे कि इंग्लिश में पूछा गया है और हम उसे हिंदी में मतलब इंग्लिश में नहीं बोल पा रहे हैं, उसके बाद हम उसे हिंदी में बोल रहे हैं, तो उसमें सर कोई फर्क पड़ता है कि इंग्लिश में नहीं बोल पाए या कहीं, तो उसमें कोई सर दिक्कत होती है?
देखो, there will be always companies
like that really depends upon the company. If they are looking for a candidate.
Okay, sir. That means
go ahead.
That means English is most important.
Yeah, just like I was telling that it depends upon the companies. If they are looking for a candidate who, they want to have a good communication skills, they want to have the good communication skills as well. So there would be definitely some parameters that they would judge basis on the communication as well. But the times have changed. So there are companies that are open-minded now. Like they would be more focusing on your skill rather than how fluently can you speak up one particular language. So I guess if you have that skills, if you have that confidence, so once you have skill, so definitely I believe that you would express that, and no matter what language, but you can if you are trying to explain a particular concept, so interviewer will itself encourage you to choose a language so in which you can express it really good. But I would definitely recommend you to work on your communication skill as well. It is not just for interview, but for your corporate life as well.
Correct. Because you have to understand, like, the company which you work for, the chances are, let's say, out of 5 people, there might be 3 people who might not know Hindi or your regional language, right? Okay. So in those cases, how will you communicate with them, right? You cannot just abandon them, right? Say that, okay, I don't want to talk to you. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता, because at the end, everyone has to work in a team, right? Okay. So what are the best ways? What I have seen personally is, like, try to record yourself every day. Okay. Speaking about any random topic. Okay, it can be any random topic, right? It can be a question which you were trying to solve from Sharpener. You can talk about it or something like that. Okay, do it consistently for a period of 45-50 days. Okay, and Yash Bhaiya has also shared an app which you can actually download. You can talk to people who are actually trying to improvise English. Right? You have to have a partner. Right? The more you communicate, because it's a communication skill, right? So you have to communicate in this, right? Okay, if you're not finding a partner, okay, you can basically download this app. Okay, if this app is not helping you out, do it yourself, right? Okay, take a camera, okay, record yourself, see how well you're speaking, how well you're explaining things, and you will automatically improvise on yourself, right? Okay, consistently karo.
Just go on this website which I put, right? Meet people over there, talk to them. Just 30 minutes every day if you do, that would be more than sufficient. Okay, but it's important that you talk over there. Okay, don't don't feel underconfident, okay? Because
don't be there to find girls, okay? Don't be there to find girls.
सर सौरभ सर, जुबेर सर एंड सर से पूछना था सर, जैसे आप लोग ने सर जब शार्पनर ज्वाइन किया था सर, उसमें लैंग्वेज थे सर, जैसे पाइथन है, जावा स्क्रिप्ट है वगैरह, तो सर आप लोगों ने एक ही लैंग्वेज में काम किया था कि अलग अलग में किया था? तो सर सिंटेक्स तो अलग अलग होते हैं, तो सर आप लोगों को समझ में कैसे आया होगा कि ये ऐसे हो रहा है?
These guys have also taken different languages. Yeah, Zaurav, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Like there are different languages to code, right? So, but the logic remains the same. Syntax may change, but the logic remains the same behind them. So, if you know which syntax is for which logic and why you are using that, then it's easy, quite easy to shift from language to language, and you can crack that. You can do that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I think so. Yeah, like last question. I think Nidhi, let's go with yours, and I think we sorted. Nidhi.
Yes, hello everybody, and congratulations all of you for getting the job.
Yeah.
And my question is you have told कि आप लोगों ने साथ में बैठ के pros and cons decide किए. You have taken the 3 days for deciding whether to go in front end or back end. What are the what are the things? What are the mindset you have got to get into the front end but not the back end? What are that things?
Okay, like it depends on individual, right? So like I'll say my perspective. So I wanted a quick job, like where I wanted to crack the interview easily. Yeah, that's the first thing that I chose. And also like the coding part, like where you can code easily and you can convince the like interviewer, right? So what you are doing actually, because in the front end what you code is always visible to you. So that's why like I chose to go to the front end rather than the back end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and for me, like I'm from, as you know, as I've mentioned, like I am from mechanical background, so most of the things happens visually there. So I wanted to continue that, at least that skill that I have moving forward. And in front end, what happens is like whatever that you do, it reflects on the screen. Like whether if you put some color to the div, color to a container wherein you are doing some box kind of a thing, or trying to change the background of the screen, so that thing really reflect onto the screen, and you can really debug it and try to increase your engagement with the screen, and know what, like whatever that you code, like understand it perfectly, like what this div is doing, what this css feature that I'm trying to implement is doing. So it was very straightforward for me, and that is the reason why I chose front end. Like I could be able to understand it better, grasp better, because front end is also a skill that is important, and it needs to be there out. Someone has to do it, right? So it's not like you need to know front end, back end both, and then only you'll be able to contribute to the team or project.
Yeah. I think front end is important. As in, like a lot of companies have like front end roles. So yeah, definitely it's like whatever suits you. I think you should take that. Yeah.
Correct.
Should do your own research. So that's why whenever students ask me, what should I take, I tell them to do their research by themselves. Okay.
Exactly.
I cannot give my biasness. Yeah.
They only know themselves better than anyone else. So they'll be able to make decision, and they should make their decision, and that's how it should be.
Makes sense. Okay, guys, I think an amazing session this was, guys. Really helpful and really motivating. I think so. We've all understood like how important like this friendship is, and like how important like working in groups is. Like I think a lot of people might just end up forming a lot of groups now, and they'll start working in that similar fashion. So a new thing which people have learned, and yeah, it's all become possible because of you guys. Thank you guys for joining. Yeah, wonderful session. We loved it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
So
much. Thank you for having us.
Yes, we wanted to share all our learnings, and you guys have made it possible for us to share so much learnings. And this in turns makes us only more proud of ourselves, and also give our 110% moving forward. Yes, thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for joining. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys. It was awesome session. I think so.
Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you,
people are
Zubair.
fun.
Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Saurabh. Great having you here. Like a lot of insights, and probably a lot of people would have helped a lot from you those insights, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing everything over here. Yeah.